Pokemon Rangers. Gameplay clips, tele circles, partner Pokemon animation, and the regular Lego phasing. Never remember the classic Pokemon game? Catching, training, battling. But do you remember Pokemon Rangers? Yeah, the one you didn't throw Pokeball. You drew Shoko. Today, we dive into the most creative Pokemon spin-off ever made, the Pokemon Ranger series. We're looking at what made it special, why it character disappeared, and why the Switch, or Switch 2, might be the perfect time for it return. The first Pokemon Ranger launched on the Nintendo DS back in 2006, right between Pokemon Emerald and Pokemon Diamond Part. It wasn't about catching Pokemon to keep. It was about helping nature. You play as a ranger, a kind of Pokemon guardian, to tend the balance between humans, Pokemon, and the wild. Instead of battling, you use a device called the Capture Styler, literally drawn loose around Pokemon with your stylus to befriend them. The more circles, the stronger the bond. And the mechanic, that simple, but fanatic. The circle drawing was weird, creative, and surprisingly fun. It felt like you were actually calming Pokemon down, not just overpowering them. The series had three main entries. Pokemon Ranger 2006, set in February, the original adventure that introduced the concept. Pokemon Rangers, Shadow of Amia, with a bigger world, multiple partner Pokemon, and a deeper story. Pokemon Ranger, Guardian Signs in 2010, adding finding secrets, multiplayer missions, and even time travel legendaries. Each game had a different region, new character, and unique Pokemon tie-ins, like unlocking event legendary for your mainline Pokemon games. It was like a secret bridge between the spin-off and the main series. And for a DS player back then, it felt magical. You weren't a trainer, you were a hero. But why it was so special? Pokemon Radar wasn't just a gimmick. It had heart. It showed Pokemon as a living creature, not just a tool for battle. It made the player part of nature, solving problems like forest fires, punchers, and rapid agent legendaries. That caster starter system gave Pokemon unique field abilities, cutting vines, cooling lava, lighting torches, which made expedition feel like solving puzzle with friends. And let's be honest, that DS Dallas gameplay was really addictive, showing perfect loops. Before a wild shorter broke your line, beat DS era, honestly. It was interactive, charming, inspiring, deep, and built an entire subfam of players who wanted more. So what happened? Despite character praise, Pokemon Rangers slowly faded after Guardian Sign in 2010. There were few reasons. The touch controls define the gameplay, but when Nintendo moved to 3DS and beyond, the circle mechanic didn't translate easily. Pokemon mainline game keep getting bigger, even less space for experimental spin-off. And honestly, you never saw Pokemon mainline numbers. It was niche. They were how Laboratory and Creature Inc. move on to other projects, and the Ranger Court quietly retired. This is a shame, because in a sea of battling and grinding, Ranger was about empathy, teamwork, and pretending the wild. I feel like Pokemon with a message. But imagine Pokemon Ranger on the Switch 2, HD motion control with a capture style using the Joy-Con like a lasso. Open world exploration with a real Pokemon in nature. No random battle encounter, just living in the ecosystem. Co-op Ranger missions. Online, 2 players tracking down a legendary together. Environmental puzzle powered by Pokemon abilities. that using Pikachu electricity to reboot machinery, or a bastard to put out wildfires. An emotional storytelling that could shine more than ever in modern video and voice acting. What players always wanted. Rangers were always about connection, not conquest. If that idea fit perfectly with where Pokemon storytelling is headed today. That idea fit perfectly where Pokemon storytelling is heading today. Man, what could a sequel clip look like though? If I could pick a new entry, I'll call it Pokemon Ranger Rise of Ferori. So years after the original, you play as a new recruit in a massive open region, spanning jungles, volcanoes, and coastal cities. Your goal, to build the Pokemon Ranger Union, reconnect with ancient Pokemon spirits, and stop a Inco-Terra group using corrupt caster stylers to control Pokemon. A part action-adventure, part environmental RPG, and all about what made the DS games special. Just modernized. So tell me, do you remember Pokemon Ranger? Will you play a reboot? Will you play a reboot if Nintendo ever brought it back? Because honestly, between nostalgia, unique gameplay, and that piece of Pokemon energy, this is one genre that deserves a second life. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button, subscribe for more forgotten Pokemon games, and drop your favorite Ranger partner in the comment. Was it Puzzle? Like me? Pachirisu even? Sure, maybe even not Shrugsy, but do. Anyway, thanks for watching. Remember, once a Ranger, always a Ranger.